your opening thoughts on the matchup, and we'll take the question.
Georgia Tech's playing well. 1, 2 of 3, maybe 3 of 5. Coming off a nice win at Virginia Tech. Big, strong, physical team. I think their young guys are gaining confidence, playing a little more confidently. And obviously we've had troubles winning on the road this year, so we need to try to find a way to win a road game, and this is the next one. So need to be ready to play.
Question. How much do you talk to the team about losing games by 5 points or less?
A little bit, just from the standpoint of telling them, hey, you try to encourage them from the standpoint of, we've played well enough in a bunch of games to prove that we can play with a lot of people, and but also to point out that the margin for winning and losing is very small, and a couple of mistakes at different parts of the game are critical, and that's at times they can be devastating, and those can be the possessions that lose the game for you. It's not always the one at the end or a missed shot or something of that nature. It might be a mistake that you made early on that ends up costing you a basket that you turn back and look and you lost by 1. And so you use it for reinforcement a bunch of different ways, positively when you can. Mostly that way. You try to talk to them a little bit about finishing games better, and that's part of any teaching.
Like it's all across college basketball right now, not just what happened here Sunday, but teams have a problem finding a fine line between milking the clock or running some clock at the end and still staying in their offense. Why is that so difficult?
I don't know. I think it's, as a coach, you're going to be criticized either way as a team. If you shoot quick and it doesn't work out, you're trying to run your offense, why aren't you milking the clock? If you milk the clock or whatever, use some clock and then don't score in the last 10 seconds of possession, why didn't you just run offense? So, it's a no-win situation for that way. I think you have to understand it. But most people would understand that you're trying to use some clock and then get a good shot. Using clock for us wasn't a problem. Obviously, one of the possessions it was, KJ didn't make a good decision he's at 8 feet, he needs to shoot the ball. He tried to pass it out to Rod. I don't know why. That's part of decision-making with younger players that has to be better. But I just think that's the balance in the sport. And there's no great shakes either way to tell you what's right or wrong. But I think at times the clock is your friend, and you're trying to limit the possessions that another team can have to make threes. Because to be honest with you, the three-point shot is a makeable shot for most guys. And again, I kind of get back to when another team's behind and kind of frantically trying to catch up, it seems like they shoot better. The pressure, it's like you're already kind of losing. You're going to probably lose the game, so the chance to make a shot, guys don't worry as much. They just kind of shoot it. And it seems like more shots go in that way than you're watching games throughout, and in the first 30 minutes, guys don't shoot as well. Then all of a sudden, they're trying to shoot threes at the end to catch up, and guys make shots. We've been guilty of it too. BC, for example. So I don't know if I have a specific answer.
Since 3 games have been like 17 turnovers, 19 turnovers.
Yeah, it's been a problem. We've turned it over too many times. Obviously talked about it in practice. It was a crushing start to our game at Virginia, but it's something we have to do better. We're not a good enough team to waste possessions, and we've just had some loose possessions. We had some guys not play well. Offensively, their decision-making was poor. Adonis's was poor for certain. Our post guys sometimes have had some turnovers, but that's something we have to correct. We're not good enough to be making more than 10, 11, 12 turnovers in a game.
Is it like a lot of times in football teams will go through stretches where they just fumble and they're like they're
sometimes, yeah.
Work on it in practice, and coaches will say, doesn't happen in practice.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, not that it never happens in practice, but I do think there are times, sometimes playing on the road lends itself to turning the ball over more. That's why I thought we played so well in our game at NC State. I think we only had 6 turnovers in the game. we played a terrific game at NC State, and we were very efficient offensively in terms of getting shots. And some of it's a product of your personnel and what their strengths are. You're going to have some guys that are trying to make plays, and occasionally you're going to have some turnovers. But you also have some that you can have, and we had a few of those. A couple of illegal screens, questionable 3-second call. And then we just had some bad decisions. The 2 lob passes by Adonis were really poor. You just can't make those plays.
Is it safe to say that the minutes for Jordan continue and he continues to start, or is he still going to be?
Yeah, right now he's probably going to start tomorrow. He had a good practice yesterday, and he's playing with more confidence. I think he understands a little bit more about what we're looking for and what we're trying to do, and he tries to figure everything out. So his mind's kind of always racing, but he's played well. He obviously gave us a great spark, and it's something we need.
Do you feel like, as much as they can be, they're over the loss to NC State, or do you need tomorrow night's game to really kind of put that in the rearview mirror?
I don't know. I don't know if you're I'm not over it. Obviously, you're not really over it. You got to put it past you and move on. But you still find yourself, at least me, but this is probably me only, sitting around somewhere, and all of a sudden your mind goes back to the game and things that you'd like to change or things you're upset about. And that's the hard part. I don't think 18-year-old kids do much of that, but coaches do. But I don't. They'll be fine. They'll be past it by the game time, and then we'll have a whole another set of emotions to deal with.
Sure, with young players, you probably have situations like you're talking about. Later, you think back, geez, I shouldn't have done that,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe I should have put him in that.
Yeah.
But isn't there reason? Can't you almost expect that that's going to happen with young players because until they play?
Yeah, there's always going to be some things that happen that you hate it as a coach because it's part of the learning curve, and the best way to learn is to play and to, is trial by fire. I use the phrase "experience is the best teacher." It is. You don't want guys to be learning on the job that much. You should have confidence in them, and we do in our guys, but there's going to be some times when they're in environments and when they see things that they're not as comfortable with, and there's going to be some poor decisions that follow.
Is that transition offense and defense?
Yeah, we need to do a better job scoring a little bit more in transition offense. I think we've been up and down. At times we've been good with it, and gotten the ball to Devin when he's been able to outrun people, and at times we've made some threes and stuff like that. Our transition defense against NC State, not very good at times. And again, some of that, they're so good that they put pressure on you and make you pay for mistakes.
The decision to have Milton on the free throw line, when you're making a decision like that, is it just a gut feeling going into it, or is guys shooting?
Well, it's not just like I decided, hey, I get to pick Milt's the guy that we're going to, automatically get the ball to. I mean, we're trying to get the ball in bounds. Like, we had trouble for one time already, but certainly we put Milton in a position to make a catch. A little bit, yeah. I mean, it's everything. It's the fact that, I don't know what game it was a couple games ago. What, he hit 14 out of 16, 16 out of 18? I mean, he probably won the game, in all honesty, from the free throw line, because they kept fouling him. He kept making them. Some of it's, in practice the day before, he hit 19 in a row, and we stopped the drill. I mean, it's like, you can't worry about all that. I mean, who's to say who would have made it, missed it? You don't know if they're going to foul right away on the catch either. Like, you don't know if they're going to trap the first pass. There was enough time they could have trapped the first pass, and they kind of tried to, and then kind of fouled him after a couple seconds. So you're putting guys up there that you think have pretty good stats and have the stomach to make one and hope to do it, but you also got to get the ball in bounds.
You talk about how important, especially in Russ and things like Miami, that mindset is. How do you cultivate that in your team not playing as well?
Just like confidence or?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard. You're not gonna, you're not going to trick your team or whatever. Guys are smart enough to know how things are going, but at the same time, I think you point things out, like I said earlier, where, hey, when we do what we need to do and we play at a high level and we make good decisions and we follow the scouting report and our attention to detail is very good, we can play some pretty good basketball. I mean, we've had Gonzaga in the last 5 minutes. We've had Arizona in the last, 5 minutes. I mean, we've played some good teams. We played good teams in our league. We've shown flashes of really good basketball. Obviously, the Virginia win at home was a great game. I mean, Virginia's a really good team, folks. Like, that was a great win for us. But we've also got the other side where we haven't played well, and things have gotten away from us, and we haven't been good enough, nor shown the kind of resolve or patience or poise or a lot of things to fight through some adversity sometimes. Sometimes we've struggled with that, and that's a problem.
When teams where you've had success maybe in the street, do you find that things are more player-driven at that point?
Yeah, I think so. I think the best teams are player-motivated, player-driven, as opposed to coach-directed, where the players are really, I don't know if it's coaching themselves, but they're holding themselves accountable to each other and feel a fear of more of letting down their teammates than like a coach or anything else. Like, they're afraid to play bad or not be prepared because they're going to let somebody on their team down. That's when you got a really good team, and that's when your program is more established, and it becomes a culture in your program. And that's what we're trying to build that here. We don't have it. It's not, I've gotten that at Wilmington and Wright State. We're not there yet. And I knew this year would be a hard deal with that.
Art, do you have a perspective? There's this discussion this year, last couple of years, but more this year about the scoring being down in college basketball, maybe the games diminished somehow.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors. Probably a lot of them have already been said, I would guess. But obviously, early entry is one. Just you take out the best players in every team, and that's the first strike against it. I think there are times when all of us, probably sometimes athletic prowess is taking over skill sometimes. Because of the physicality and the nature of the way the game is being played right now, how physical it is, that's another reason. The game is very physical. So now you're worried if you don't have a guy who's physically strong enough to handle it, is he going to be able to even if he has the skill set, is he going to be able to survive? But the physical nature of the game is, making it more difficult to score. Guys have their hands on people, and the players are bigger and stronger. It's hard to get close to the basket. It's hard. Then the other thing is just coaching is better and better every year, and people just know what you're doing more often with synergy and all the things out there with scouting. There are very few secrets, and guys prepare. The teams are prepared. And so, you don't get many surprises. Guys see what you're going to guard, and they prepare for it, and they know the strengths and weaknesses of teams, and that's a little bit of an issue. I think, sometimes with the ball screen stuff now too, that's more people are doing ball screens, and more coaches have caught up on how to guard it. They guard it better than they used to when it was kind of just getting going.
So, because it's more physical, you're saying, guys, we got to make sure we got some big guys, some tough guys.
Yeah, just not even 6'8" guys. Just your guards have to have some strength to be able to defend. And
you might have tough guys who can't shoot.
Sometimes you might have bigger, stronger guys that maybe aren't as polished. I think some of that is, I don't think there's as many kids that when you're looking at guys, I don't know if there's as many guys that are out there that are shooting the ball in as you would like. You know, I think with the AAU circuit and everybody playing AAU basketball and games, you know, the great book, The Little Book of Talent, and in it talks about how really you need to practice 5 times or 10 times is even better for every one time that you play. Well, I guarantee you that that's not happening with kids playing basketball. Kids aren't going to the gym 10 days in a row and then playing one day. Or, you know, they're playing AAU games all the time. And while that's good to go out and get exposure and play against better competition, there's a lot of great things. The hour of going to the gym and just working on shooting with somebody that can help you and getting shots up is lost now in some ways. And as a result, guys don't make as many shots. They're not as good as shooters.
Anything else for the coach today? Okay, say y'all coming.
Yep.
Thank you as well.
Yeah. Audio crew.